everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV, and this is a match review from Sheffield United 0, Newcastle United 8. Yes, you heard that right. Newcastle 8. Before I get to the show and say hello to Roly, if you do like what you see, please do smash the like. It really does help the channel up the search, so do smash the like. Thank you. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, come and smash the subscribe. Be part of this great community, which is free to do so. And that bell notification also tells you when I'm live, I have a pre-record or any upcoming shows. If you want to become a member, it is 99p. Just click the join button. And if you want to make a donation, you can do that in the chat by clicking on the $sign. Look, I don't know if anybody in the chat has noticed anything different about me tonight, but if you have, get your comments in the chat. And then if there's anything different you can say about me, then get it in the chat and let me know what the difference is. And then I will reveal all as well. Right, okay, so hi Roly, how are you tonight?
Yeah, I'm feeling positively Champions League, buzzing after the result on Sunday.
Yeah.
I thought we'd win, but not like that. That was just total domination. We were ruthless. We exploited every mistake that they made.
Well, hold your thoughts, Roly, because we'll come back to you on that. I'm just going to go through some comments first, and then we'll come back to you on your verdict for yesterday. I've just had to mute Roly because there's still that feedback, I think, because he's on his phone. Yeah, Viking says, evening, Tony and Uncle Roly, we are on fire. Absolutely, we're on fire, aren't we just? Holly says, hi, Tony and Roly, what a fantastic result and match it was to go away and get a result like that. Fantastic. But all I have to say is we need it after all the disappointments. Yeah, because you said 2-1 yesterday, Holly, and you know what? Nowhere near, was it? I mean, I said 3-0, but that was a score at half time. Evening all says, Sefton, good evening, Sefton. Mad Max says, it's showtime. What a performance yesterday. Can't wait to delve into this. Hope everyone's well. Yeah, absolutely great. Thank you. And thank you to Bia Vaken. He's become a new member of the channel. Thank you, Bia. Thank you very much. Gary says, hi, Tony. Hi, Roly. And hi, gang. Hi, Gary. And you got the notification tonight. Hello, you, says Andrew. Hello to you, mate. Hope you're well. Evening, Tony, Roly, and all in chat. Good evening, Wayne. Matt, all the way from Australia. Good day, Tony and Rory. What a brilliant win. Absolutely, yeah, definitely. We'll not talk about the rugby, though. We'll not talk about the rugby, Matt, because, you obviously got a walloping off wheels last night. Yes, says you've just left just stop. Well, no, certainly not that. Wayne's got it straight in at his dash strip. Absolutely. You've changed your lipstick. Oh, funny, Andrew. Trevor says, do you think after they scored 8, they let the foot off the gas and felt sorry for United? Not at all, Trevor. Not at all. I think, I don't think we took the foot off the gas. He's had a haircut. Well, I've had the haircut for a while. Gary says, Tony's the difference you want wearing stockings and suspenders. No, certainly not that. Tune record bakers, absolutely. The Sefton. Wayne says that result reminded me back in the day when we beat Sheffield 8-0 when Shearer bagged 5, but what made it more unique was all different goal scorers. Absolutely. Joe Linton says, felt nice to actually watch a good performance for once. Absolutely, Joe Linton. Absolutely. Yes, so you have guessed it right, guys. I've gone a bit back in time. I've gone back nostalgia. Instead of putting a Castore shirt on, I decided, yes, I'm going to put my Adidas shirt on from 2009, 2010. And yes, Sefton, the shirt patches are there. I don't know if you can see it in the camera there. Yep. It's actually the last time we were the last winners of the Coca-Cola Football League, believe it or not, before it went to Sky Bet. So, yes, so I've got the badges on there. It's the championship shirt from that season, the winning shirt. So it's got in gold writing, Coca-Cola Cup Championship Champions 2009-10. And the name and number on the back is Wayne Routledge, number 10. So there you go. That shows you how far back we've gone there with this shirt. I just thought, you know what, I'll stick this on. Bit of nostalgia. I I have got the long sleeve version of this one as well, believe it or not, and that's got Lovenkrands on the back. So, saying on a free from Germany, Peter Lovenkrands, what a player he was. But know what it is at the end of the day. I just thought, no, we're going to have Adidas back next season, and I thought after yesterday, let's go back to nostalgia and let's have a bit of Adidas as well. So why not? And I
So
thought,
if I put on my top from 2010, it'd be like a crop top.
well, mate, still fits me perfect. Look, there you go. See, Northern Rock with a badge in the middle. I thought, look, absolutely brilliant. There you go.
I've put on a pound or two since 2010, or maybe more than a
Predator.
pound or two.
Yeah. Harry, Tony, and Roly were all changers or chargers. Hope everyone's fitting well. Yeah. Well done, Tony. It still fits. Absolutely, Sefton. Absolutely fits. So does my so does my long sleeve one. I'll go to wear that in the winter, actually. Trevor says, just think when the Toons score 10 past shit United, they moan about the ref. Yeah, I agree, Roly. Right, I mean, look, yes, I mean, I did a little reaction show last night. I just put out there, just on the spur of the moment thing. But look, the team news for that came out yesterday. So Pope, Trippier, Shea, Botman, Byrne, Bruno, Longstaff, Anderson, Almiron, Barnes and Wilson. The front three were a change of Almiron, Barnes and Wilson from the Champions League game. There was no Tonali playing. Anderson started. Look, I thought that's a great lineup. That's a winning lineup. Tonali was on the bench. Harvey Barnes starting. I was like, yes, I want to see what Barnes is going to bring to us because, look, we know the lad's a good player, but he hasn't had the chance to start because of the form of Anthony Gordon. So we thought, right, we got a chance to see what Barnes can do. And so it was great to see that. Then there's the Sheffield United team as well, which not a lot of great household names in there. I mean, yes, we know Chris Basham, Fotheringham from, obviously, he's played for Swindon Town and Rangers, so we sort of know him. Although Ian won't like me mentioning Rangers. Sorry to say that, Ian, if you're in the chat. But yeah, we saw their team line up and we thought, yeah, we can win this game. We should win this game, hands down. And I did go for 3-0 at the end of the day. So, first half, they had a couple of chances before we actually got into the game properly. I mean, look, Luke Thomas had a chance, which, he should have had on target. At least he pushed it. He took it well past the post. And you could see on his face, he realised that it was a chance and he should have probably hit the target with that and even forced Pope into a save, in all honesty. But was sad to see on 12 minutes that we saw Harvey Barnes go down, with an injury. It gave Anthony Gordon an early introduction, probably a lot earlier than Anthony Gordon thought he was getting on, probably a lot earlier than Eddie wanted him on as well, to be honest with you, because he probably thought he needs a rest. So, it was a shame to see him go off. We're still waiting of news of what's the matter with Harvey Barnes, but believe it's something to do with his toe, but not told yet what it is, because obviously they're going to have to wait till it settles and then do a scan. But we know it's some sort of toe injury, which isn't great, and we wish the lad a speedy recovery of how long it takes for him to get back to full fitness, depending on how severe this toe injury actually is. But look, 21 minutes, Anthony Gordon, ball's broke to him. He's got on the goal line, on the byline. He's got the ball. As he's trying to cross the ball at first, or as he's trying to control the ball, obviously bounce off his leg, hits his right hand, goes back down. It falls perfectly for him. It was never out of play, the ball, because the ball was still in play. And it's not a handball because, one, he's not directly involved he's not directly scoring the goal. Yes, he's involved in the goal, but it's a total difference. So VAR was right on that occasion to allow the goal, and even Dermot Gallagher said today on Sky that goal stands because it is a correct decision. Sheffield United might want to complain about that, but there's nothing they can do about it at the end of the day. I thought it was a lovely cross, nice assist for Sean Longstaff. Nice to see Sean Longstaff get the goal. He's probably spoilt a lot of people's bets yesterday by, probably most people had Wilson down as the first goal scorer, and when Longstaff scored, everybody's probably thought, oh, not the player we wanted to score first, we want Wilson, so a lot of people have probably lost their pounds on bets and things like that because they've had Wilson on. But I don't think we would have cared, to be fair. And obviously a few minutes later, get a corner. A lovely corner comes in. That Bosnian defender, Ahmed Dosic, all over bloody Dan Burn. I mean, he's already on a yellow card. And he's got a hold of Dan Burn's shirt. I'm sure he's trying to swap shirts in the penalty area with him, but he's got such a hold of him. I mean, I think if Dan Burn doesn't get that ball, I think we get a penalty there because he's everywhere on him. He's really trying to pull him back to stop him. I thought in some ways he was a red card waiting to happen, this Bosnian defender. But Dan Burn gets in with a lovely header and scores. The goalkeeper totally misjudges where Kieran Trippier's corner's going, and doesn't pick Burn up. And then we see a horrendous challenge on Sean Longstaff from Jack Robinson. Yes, he's gone for the ball, but it's the follow through. And it's the follow through that was so severe. I thought at first it was a red card, but when you look back on a replay, I think a yellow is more justified, because his foot's low. So he takes out Longstaff. Now, I've seen a lot of Sheffield fans on social media saying, oh, that was a clean tackle. I don't know why, it's just the Newcastle players are making a meal of it, and Kieran Trippier was shouting for a red card and everything. It was just the force of the challenge. But again, Trippier steps up. Sven Botman peels away round to the front, and Trippier's balling. A nice little flick on the head from Botman off the back of the head, and nobody Fodringham was getting anywhere near that, and that was a lovely goal on Botman's 50th appearance for the Toon as well, to make it 3-0. Not long after that, we should have had a penalty, and I'll say we should have because it should have been a penalty. I don't buy this VAR's probably just let them off because they're 3-0 down. I don't care. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if it's a penalty, it's a penalty, and it's got to be given. Jaden Bogle goes in on Anthony Gordon, gets nowhere near the ball whatsoever, takes Gordon out in the penalty area. The referee hasn't given it, but why the hell has VAR not said to the referee, you need to go to the monitor and check this because I think this is a penalty? Why VAR even said check complete? Didn't know, I think even the commentator was a bit like, well, hang on, that's a penalty. Even on BBC, they were like, why is the check complete? It was a definite penalty. And it was a Stonewall penalty. So I don't buy the fact that if they felt sorry for Sheffield United, I couldn't care less if they feel sorry for them or not. If that was us against another team or Liverpool or something like that, Liverpool get that penalty all day long. So, will we get an apology from Howard Webb? Probably not. But it should have been a penalty and we should have probably been 4 up by half time. So anyway, the second half starts and they sort of like have a little bit of a go. And I see a little bit of a go, not a lot really. And so second half comes, Trippier gets a cross in, and who's there to head it in? Callum Wilson. Trippier's hat-trick of assists, and they're all headers as well from his assists, which is absolutely fantastic. That makes a 4-0. Anthony Gordon outside the box gets the ball. Dan Burn in this move is very, very clever as well if you watch Dan Burn, because he actually takes one of the defenders away by running straight through the box. And that allows Gordon to cut in, and as he cuts in, hits a beauty with his right foot into the corner, makes it 5-0. And you're just thinking, how many is this going to be? How many? And then the sixth goal comes along. Almiron's got the freedom of Sheffield because the gaps they were leaving were absolutely horrendous. The amount of space they left. You could have drove You could have drove a bus side by, you could have drove 2 buses side by side through there. That's how much the gaps were. The ball falls through to Miggy, left foot, into the back of the net, 6-0. We make a triple substitution. Isak gets the ball, gets into the box, tries to flick it, and he can't get anywhere near it, but it falls to Longstaff, who just rolls it along to Bruno. Bruno, calm as you like, into the back of the net for his first goal since November, and boom, makes and gets us up and running again with a 7th goal. And then they brought on Tom Davies, who they signed from Everton, who we were linked with, funny enough, not last season. I think this season we were struggling against relegation at the time. I'm glad we didn't get him because I don't rate him once whatsoever. He tried a header, didn't get anywhere near it, falls to Isak. Isak puts the defender on his arse and then makes the keeper go down. As soon as the keeper's gone down, Isak picks his spot. Thank you very much. We'll have number 8 now. And I think Isak was a bit embarrassed to celebrate, really. But all in all, it was a real thumping. The only downside was Elliot Anderson getting hit with a bottle. I thought that was absolutely disgusting. Yes, okay. Some people might say, why were our players going and celebrating in front of the home end? But how many times do we have this at St James's Park when the opposition score and they celebrate right in front of the Gallagher end, But the thing is, the difference is we don't throw bottles at people. And there was one Sheffield fan put on, the reason they threw a bottle at Elliot Anderson was because they were sick of his diving. And I thought, well, hang on, he wasn't diving around that much. But I thought it was a super all-round display, and I really do think this guy changed the game for us yesterday. Anthony Gordon, he was absolutely brilliant yesterday, absolutely fantastic, in fact. And, as I mentioned last night, we go back to January when we were signing him, and I know a lot of people, there was a lot of negativity around signing him, and I said, look, this lad's a rough diamond, but we need smoothing out, and once he comes good, I'm telling you now, we'll have a hell of a player on our hands. And it's starting to come to fruition, that now. So, yes, I mean, look, he went to Euros. I think the Euros is kicked him on. And in all honesty now, if he keeps putting these displays in, Gareth Southgate better start taking notice, because this guy needs to be in the England team alongside Longstaff. And I think Longstaff needs to be in the England team as well, ahead of Jordan Henderson, in all honesty, because I think Longstaff would do well in that England team. So again, we wait and see what happens with that. But all in all, I thought it was a great performance yesterday. Nice to see we hit 8 goals. We could have had double figures. I mean, look, Wilson missed a few, which he, that one when Gordon rolled it to him, he should have hit it harder than he did, and he didn't get a hold of it properly. He probably might be disappointed with that, but I think he was glad he got on the score sheet. But it was like the defence scoring, the left back and the left centre back scoring yesterday. Trippier getting 3 assists as a right back as well. It was just a perfect day yesterday. And it wasn't just because it was perfect as in the score, but it was perfect because we were clinical in front of goal. Every time we went forward, we were a threat. And I see Sheffield United are not going to sack their manager at the moment. And I'm thinking, oh, that's a bit, But again, how do Sheffield United players recover from this? Because I'll tell you now, this could hurt them. This could be on their minds for weeks. They could go on Saturday and get another hammering. And I think they will get another hammering like this season. I wouldn't be surprised, in all honesty. And before I get Roly, I'm just going to nip into some comments, because the comments are flying in as well. And see what the comments have to say. But would have been nice had we got up to nine goals. It would have just been absolutely perfect. But you know what? It was just one of those games. It's just one of those games that was just where everything just clicked. Everything just clicked. Hi, Tony and Roly. Great result yesterday, says Ian. Hi. Yeah, absolutely, mate. John says, hi, Tony and Roly. Hope you're well. Absolutely, John. We're absolutely buzzing, mate. So people saying out to each other. Predator, I read Tony and Roly and all Chargers. Yeah, absolutely, we're fine. Matt says, could easily have been 10 plus goals. It could have been, Matt, absolutely. I mean, if we'd got double figures, it would have been a record, wouldn't it, in the Premier League? So nine is the record. So if we got 10, you know, I don't think Sheffield United covered themselves in glory, in all honesty. And why is it we've beat the Sheffield twice now, and the fans, again, are upsetting the odds? I mean, look, the Sheffield Wednesday fans, they were a bit funny towards us, our fans, even though they beat us in the FA Cup. You know, won them through a tin can off our, what's his name? Adam Pearson's head. You know, it's just absolutely disgusting. I don't know what it is with those fans there. Jake says, Eddie out. We didn't score 10. Mikey Wynn says, even all late again. Nah, you're all right, mate. I mean, you know, the thing is as well, go back a few weeks after the Liverpool game, after the Brighton game, some of these fans who are wanting rid of Eddie Howe, where are you now? Where are you? Do you still want rid of Eddie Howe? We've beat Brentford 1-0 in a nervy game. We've got the San Siro, got a draw 0-0. We've now gone out. No Champions League hangover, by the way, because this is why we were probably on Sky, because they were expecting us to have a Champions League hangover. And that was the thing that kept on going on about, Champions League can affect your form in the Premier League after you've played a game. Well, if we play Champions League and we come out winning 8-0, then that just shows you there's certainly no hangover. Predator says, what's that last on Talkshow Radio complaining about the first 3 goals shouldn't have counted? I don't get that one. I really don't. It's stupid. I don't get it. Mad Max says, Pope out. He was nowhere to be seen after the first 10 minutes. I was disappointed. Pope didn't go for a corner. He should have, shouldn't he? Only 18, but it's not the quantity, it's the quality. Absolutely. Why only 9? Yeah, no, exactly. Did you hear the people say that Eddie for England job after Southgate gets a sack? Yeah, I've heard that, and not at the moment. I don't think it's going to happen. It's rumoured a broken toe for Barnes. Yeah, I would have thought it was something. As soon as he said he felt something go, I thought, yeah, that sounds a bit. Bias is going to be player of the season, early prediction. He could be young player of the season, absolutely. Predator says, yeah, I heard her whining on. Obviously, didn't have a clue what she was talking about. No wonder Pardew was having a chuckle at her. Lee says, evening, Tony and Roly, everyone, what a great result. Full credit for Eddie and the players. What a tune day. Absolutely. Gordon was unplayable, says John. He was indeed. Andrew says, I heard metatarsal. Either way, he's out for a while. Yeah, absolutely. It's been 12 weeks, won't it, with a metatarsal. Ian says, yes, I'm here, Tony. You went past my comments, so I said I was so upset. Yeah, I didn't go past your comment, Ian. Sorry, mate. I didn't. Sorry. I didn't do it on purpose. Ian says, I did say 5 on my bet, Tony, but once we got to 5, I knew it was going to be more. Should have been double figures. Yeah, it should have been. Should have been double figures. What's Sheffield United's favourite movie? The Hateful Eight. Yeah. Yeah, just don't be in Sheffield at 8 o'clock and say, what time is it? Oh, it's just gone past 8. Was Pope even playing, or did he go and make a cup of tea? Do you know what? Pope was fishing, sitting with a G&T. Mikey Wynn says, I never judge a pointing when it's only half finished. Out for at least a couple of months, yeah. He went and read a book reader corner. Yeah. Splat says, evening, guys. Evening, Splat. Hope you're well. He joined the woman who was reading the book. I couldn't believe that, yeah, that woman reading the book. Was worrying that until Gordon came on. They were the better team. Yeah, they were. Did you notice Gordon's shirt was ripped? Yes, I did notice that, Lee. Yes, at half time. Should have had a penalty in the first half. Yes, we should have. Man of the match for me was Gordon, but Trippier was close shout as well. But they all played out of their skin and another clean sheet. That's what it is. Do you know what it is? Burnley's not going to enjoy coming to St James's Park on Saturday. You know, Predator says for all we clinical yesterday, Sheffield United were bloody awful, but the wife in the crowd reading her book summed up their support. I mean, who takes a book to the football? Jesus Christ. Mad Mag says missed the altercation with Gordon, but his shirt wasn't half torn. Yeah. Was buzzing at the bottom and broke his duck. Plenty more, I hope. Absolutely, Wayne. Remember the Arsenal penalty? They said it has to be right. They just ignored this one. Yeah, exactly. I'd love to hear the audio on that one. VAR's been shit for the tune every season. Yeah, it was switched off for some reason yesterday. VAR is pathetic. It doesn't like the web new broom, and it's done nothing at all. No, a new broom's supposed to sweep clean, and obviously it hasn't. It's still the same old shit. I wish Pope had scored. When everyone's fit, we're going to have the strongest bench in the Prem, absolutely. Evening beer. John says, just shows we have to win despite the referees, absolutely. A little bit of a go, Tony, 8 minutes worth it. It was like watching a training match, certainly was. It was embarrassing, wasn't it, really? Perfectly weighted ball from Bruno to Miggy. Yeah, let's hope in some ways that, I don't mean it nastily, but if Sheffield United go down, I don't think they're going to be missed. 3 clean sheets of Jody Waller's back. If you look, Tony, it wasn't just one bottle being thrown at the players. There was about 4 or 5 from one nose hit Anderson. Scum. Absolutely predator. Hit him on the leg and it's just disgusting. By 5-0, half the stadium was empty. That's about 3 times we've done that. We're good at emptying stadiums, aren't we? Neddy's normally good at getting managers sacked as well. The last manager that got sacked after an Eddie Howe defeat was Christian Cellini when Tottenham got walloped 6-1. Gordon is a star, says 2 army years. Mighty Max says 3 Jodies in our team. 2 not getting stronger. 50 years of hurt, won't have to wait much longer. Yeah. I tell you what, and when Gordon's on this form, I can't wait till we'll play Everton at Goodison Park, because I tell you what, it's going to be hot. It's going to be a white hot atmosphere. And I reckon if Gordon does get a goal, he will celebrate in front of that Gladys Street end as well, and I hope he bloody well does. It's the people who know nothing about football that don't like Gordon. Absolutely, Paul. What was that book the girl was reading? I haven't got a clue what she was reading, to be honest with you. Probably 50 Shades of Red and White Shite, more like. Predator says we've got a great pool of young players to choose from the national squad, but Southgate will never ever pick them over his favourites. Yeah. I mean, look, we've seen there's been Sunderland fans out saying, oh, they would have beat us, you know. And I'm like, I would love to play the Mackhams, because I tell you what, we'll smash them and then we'll shut them up about this 6 in a row, because I'm sick of hearing it. The bitter Everton fans still slating Anthony Gordon are cosmic grade moronic turds, not reading the heat. Absolutely, Ronald. Absolutely. Well said, Ronald. Wayne says, Tony, it was a bit negative saying him. I was a bit negative saying him, but I take it back, and what a talent he is, completely player and still young. That is why I said, look, everybody, just give the guy a chance. And, you know, Eddie Howe's done his homework and seen something in him and thought, do you know what, this guy can be a great player. And like I said at the time on my video as well, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it, and you know, go back in the videos and you'll see it. And I've done an Anthony Gordon special, but you know, not only at that, I thought he was a rough time, but you got to look at the quality of coaching he's had at Everton. Frank Lampard, yes, Frank Lampard, and his merry men with his coaching team, who are absolutely diabolical. A shit coaching team. Frank Lampard is not a great manager either. No wonder Anthony Gordon's training methods were all over the place. So you've just got to go back to that. But now he looks a snippet 45 million. I think it was Billy Hunter's autograph who ate all the pies, or Bunter, Billy Bunter. Seth in the green with Paul. Mighty Win says the big difference now is that we have brought on £155 million worth of subs after having already bought on a £45 million sub. Yep, absolutely. Hi guys, says Clarky. Hi Clarky. I think it's Billy Bunter. So, yeah, we've seen that one. That's repeated. Don't want the Seth in. Gary says the media hate us because we keep making them eat their words. Absolutely. Jack Toon TV, evening Tony and Roly. My maths teacher said to my Sheffield United teammate, "I'm really hungry. I haven't ate all day." I hope you're giving them some stick, Jack, in school. I really do. Keep it going, mate. Keep it going. Brett says, same old media today. No, it was all Arsenal Tottenham game. Hardly even mentioned us, sickening how the bias the media are. Absolutely predator. But at least we were first on match of the day last night. I thought they put out a good thing for us as well. The shirt you're wearing, Tony, was my first ever NUFC shirt ever. It's a beauty. It absolutely is. And I've got the badges on, and yeah. At the time when I got it, I said I want the badges because I knew it was the last season of the Coca-Cola Football League. So technically, we are the last winners of the Coca-Cola Football League. So there is a bit of history there. The Mighty Mags got 8 and the Manx on 9th. Yep, absolutely. And where Chelsea are 14th. Chelsea are a mess. They are a mess. Look, let's be honest. They've got Peter Filler. I'm afraid to say I think Pochettino will be gone soon. I really do. I think he's a good manager, Pochettino, but I think he's been dealt a shit hand at Chelsea because when you've got an owner who is buying all these players in and throwing them into a team, how the hell are they going to gel? You know, they've got some good players in that team, but too many individuals in my eyes, and I think that's why they're going to struggle this season. That would be funny if they went down Chelsea, wouldn't it? Really funny. I think the whole world would laugh at Chelsea and Todd Bowley. Great to see us breaking records last season and now this season, absolutely. Lawrence says, evening everyone, evening to you, Lawrence, hope you're well. Gary says, since Longstaff's been back, Bruno's back to his best. We haven't conceded, and his form is back to its best. He's the key, absolutely. And it was nice because when Bruno scored as well, he says, he turned around, didn't he? And he says, I'm effing staying. So, brilliant, brilliant. Lee says Gordon should be playing for England, definitely, absolutely. Hi tonight, and he's been a member for 2 months. Thanks very much, Nate, indeed. Splat says when Gordon arrived, even he said he thought he was nowhere as fit as he was compared to our players. No, he wasn't, and he said that in the summer as well. But he's put himself right, and absolutely fantastic. Lewis says, hello, I've just come in from Peter's stream. Hi, Lewis. Don't worry, Tony, I messaged my Sheffield United mate at 8 in the morning and 8 tonight, lol. Jack. Longstaff, underrated since he's been back. Well, looking like a solid side again, absolutely. I hope Chelsea do in Everton. Yeah, that'd be funny. Todd Bowley's excited because it's only cost him $1 billion to get the championship. I wouldn't be surprised to see Chelsea get relegated. And there's one team especially I want to go down. That's bloody Everton. Absolutely, Lewis. We all want to see Everton go down. It's about time. It's their time to go. Great result yesterday. Just the confidence build our team needs. Hopefully, it bodes well going forward. I'm glad it finished 8 for the lass who died, though. I thought it was quite poetic. Yeah, I mean, look, that was weird, wasn't it? You know, she wore the number 8, and we scored 8 as well. You know, yeah, but such a shame about the girl. But do you know what? The fans did proud yesterday. They were absolutely fantastic. You know, the minute's applause, the minute silence was absolutely fantastic from both sets of fans. The minute's applause on the 8th minute was absolutely brilliant as well from everyone. Even our fans joined in as well, which was absolutely brilliant. And I was glad to see that, in all honesty. So yeah, so really, really nice. And it was nice to see kind words coming in from an ex-Newcastle player as well. And some younger viewers may not remember this player, but a lot of us do. Imre Verardi, what a good player he was as well. He says, an incredible applause from both sets of supporters for Maddie. I'm never surprised how special the Newcastle United fans are. So, you know, Imre Verardi knows what the Newcastle fans are like anyway. Chelsea is unable to bounce back ability. Talking to Gary. Hi, Paul. Hope you're well, mate. He says, great show, lads. Keep up the good work. How are the lads getting? Do you know what, Paul? What a fantastic result that was. We were clinical in front of goal yesterday, and everything just clicked. And do you know what? In some ways, do you think City are going to be worried about coming here on Wednesday? Because I think they might be. It'll be interesting to see what team City put out. But I think Burnley will be fearing coming to St James's Park, that's for sure. Because they not want to be on the back end of a Hayden either. Great from Amanda dropping flowers off. Yeah, absolutely. And then being in the dressing room as well to go and tell the team what happened. Football unites everyone. Yeah. Knight says she wore 8, we scored 8, we had 8 different scorers, and now we're 8th in the league. It's spooky. It is spooky, that, isn't it? And absolutely. Right, okay. Let's get Roly's take on yesterday after we've now caught up with all the chat. Clarky says he liked that kit yesterday with the bright yellow shorts. Did that have an impact on the win, how we played? Do you know what? I thought I liked the yellow shorts. I think it worked quite well with that kit. It was really nice. I fancy us against City, says Sefton. Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Well, considering the draw was fixed and we should have been number 19 and not 20, then I hope we do go out and beat them because we need to. Lewis wants to be greedy and get the Premier League record. You never know, Lewis. It could happen this season. Okay, Roly, give us your take on yesterday, please.
Well, I thought everyone was superb. I was a bit disappointed with Nick Pope, though. I mean, why didn't he score? Why didn't he get an assist? Everybody else seemed to. but seriously, I mean, I agree with most of what you said. They started okay, had a couple of chances, but fluffed their lines. The moment we scored, the game was over as a contest. We were just ripping them apart. The area I will disagree on you is that challenge on Longstaff, which you said you thought on second view you thought it was a yellow because his foot was low. I disagree there. Well, his foot was low, but he lunged into it. It was reckless. So I still think he should have got a straight red for that.
I think it's because he got the ball, Roly. That's what saved him. If he hadn't got the ball, I think he would have been
still
off.
Reckless. It's reckless and endangering an opponent. It's still. If the ref had given a red, VAR wouldn't have overturned it. And I thought that it was just reckless the way he dived in.
But VAR could have overturned that if they wanted to, but obviously they've not.
Yeah, I know they could have been. I mean, my opinion hasn't changed, but it was a reckless challenge, right? He got the ball first, but he was always going to take Longstaff out in a dangerous way. So it's endangering another player, where the ref would have been within his rights to send him off. But he didn't really make much difference. We basically steamrolled them. We should have had a penalty, but dirty in the first half in particular. There were some other really bad challenges as well. A lot of shirt pulling. Obviously, you saw Anthony Gordon's shirt was ripped, and so was Dan Burns. When he scored that goal, I thought the guy was trying to swap shirts with him.
Yeah.
And I think that if Burn hadn't have scored, we probably would have got a penalty there. It's just so blatant because he held him for about 10 yards, pulling him back. And Dan wanted to get there so much that he just dragged him with him. Again, Botman's goal, beautiful cross from trips. I think everyone thought that Fabian Schär was going to have one of his blockbusters from just outside the box, but he slipped it. Trips. That was for the Wilson's goal. But Kieran Trippier, what a player! Superb again yesterday. We sort of lose track of who scores and when. Obviously, Botman was from a free kick. Another beautiful ball in. Gets his head, just flicks it into the bottom corner for his first goal for the club. Obviously, half time. Callum Wilson's gone off a bit fed up with himself because he missed a couple of good chances. comes on, floated ball through from Trippier, nice header, 4-0. Is it Anthony Gordon next? I think it was, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, again, Dan Burns went into the box, creates the space for Gordon to run into. Lovely finish into the bottom corner. Then obviously Miggy had one disallowed, rightly so. And then Bruno slips him through. And the thing I liked about this goal was that Miggy jumped over the ball so he could get it on his left peg and finish. I thought that was quite funny in the way that he did that. So so that got us up to 6, and then Bruno's goal. I'm not so sure that was a pass from Longstaff. I just think, to me, it looked like a mishit shot that just went perfectly to Bruno. His celebration was class. Then obviously Alexander Isak didn't want to be left out. It's an awful header by Davis. The way he just so calmly just waited for the Sheffield United player to lunge in for the block and just let him go past him and just calmly put it past the keeper. I mean, when we were at 7-0, we had about 12 minutes to go. I'm thinking, we could get 10 here.
Yeah.
But we've broken a lot of records yesterday. It's the first team to score 8 goals with 8 different scorers. And that's our highest ever away victory. So, it was just... It was
Once we
such
hit
a
6,
good
that was the
performance.
highest away victory.
Yeah, it's a highest away victory. So, it's just a brilliant way to end the week after, beating Brentford and then getting that point at the San Siro. And then absolutely annihilating Sheffield United. The guys have got to be really confident. I mean, I can't think of a way of getting more confidence than having a big win away from home and lots of different players scoring. There must be. I bet they can't wait for Wednesday.
No, I bet they
Bring
can't. Mighty Win says he couldn't believe that the penalty tackle on Gordon wasn't featured on Ref Watch on Sky. I thought it would have been as well, to be honest.
Oh, I didn't. I was working, so I didn't see Ref Watch, but I would have thought it was.
Yeah. Gary says Big Dan reminded me of John Alumo for his goal. What a player he was, John Alumo. It's a shame he passed away, but what a player he was. Jeez. I'll have to mute you, Roly, sorry, because it's feedback.
Don't know how good he was at football, but he was a tremendous rugby player.
Yeah, definitely was. Definitely. Ronald says to top it all off, the Mackems got beaten out. Yeah, absolutely. Let's all laugh at something. Absolutely. I mean, look, Cardiff went there, got a win, 87th minute winner.
So
Couldn't.
It
was the perfect Sunday.
There's one other point about the game yesterday, that in those 90 minutes, we scored more goals than Manchester United have scored so far this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Andrew says John Aluma was a force of nature. Lewis says, tell me, mammy, ma, I won't be home for tea, going to Germany. Next time you watch Bruno's celebration, check out Cher's reaction as they're walking back. It's hilarious. I'll have to watch back on that. Yes, definitely. I mean, look, we are talking about the Anthony Gordon penalty appeal. So here it is on screen now. I'll put it on screen there for everybody to see. There we go. So you can see there, Jaden Bogle, nowhere near the ball. He's gone in on Anthony Gordon. It was a stonewall penalty, that. How it wasn't given is beyond me. I really do not know how that penalty was never given. I would like to know why VAR didn't give that penalty. And I would suspect Eddie Howe may be asking Howard Webb, why wasn't that given? Because there's something there's not right for me, because that was a definite penalty. And I thought this is where VAR was supposed to kick in. If it's a clear and obvious error, which that is from the referee, then technically that should be overturned. I don't get all this re-reffing of the game, because it's not re-reffing the game, because what you're doing is you only see it in the referee. Look, you ain't seen it, but we've seen it, and you need to go to the monitor and check it out. And Stuart Atwell should have gone to the monitor and checked that out, but they quickly checked that and said no penalty, check complete. And I'm like, well, hang on a minute. I can say it's a penalty. Thousands of other people can say it's a penalty, but the person in VAR can't see that it is a penalty. So, yeah, I didn't get that one, mate, in all honesty. But do you know what? It was just a great game, just a fantastic game to be involved with, and to see us scoring 8 goals, because you don't often see that happen in games, teams winning like this, and it was just absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it was just one of those games, wasn't it? It was just a freak game, but Sheffield United just didn't really turn up, I don't think. Yeah, I just don't think Sheffield turned up at all. And I'm just going to pop on screen a moment. There you go. There's the lady reading the book. Don't know what book she's reading. Well, whatever she's reading. It's obviously far more interesting than the game. But again, who brings a book to the football match with them? Jeez, honestly. Who brings a book to the game with them? She's reading that book when we're 7-0 up. So it's a shame she was reading that book, because she missed the 8th goal by Isak. Such a shame. But yeah, I thought that was funny. Coffee says, "Is that the Bible?" There might be a training manual how to tell the players to cut the space off. She might have been looking for some divine intervention, by the way. John says it'll just give Eddie more ammunition for the team. Yeah, because I'm sure he's probably watched this back and he's probably seen that and thought, why wasn't that a penalty? 38 and only 22. Matty Dice, all the players were 8 minutes applause, 8th minute. Yeah, it is spooky, absolutely. It absolutely is. Gary says, what's she not doing VAR? She may as well have been on VAR, mightn't she? It was just, yeah. Trolls says, evening, Tony and Roly. Good evening, Trolls, and good evening, Coffee as well. Celebrities Get Me Out of Here book, says Lee. She was reading the Kama Sutra, says Ronald. The Premier League heat seeing Newcastle above the relegation zone, says Splat. Yeah, definitely. I was joking, could it be how to be a better manager? Well, the good thing is, right, Sheffield United play in red and white stripes. Who else plays in red and white stripes? The scum down the road do, don't they? So Sheffield United play in red and white stripes. The manager's an ex-Mackham player as well, which makes it even the more sweeter, doesn't it? And then, so you've got Sheffield United in red and white, you've got the manager who's an ex-Mackham player, and then Sunderland getting beat the Stadium of Shite by Cardiff City 1-0. Makes it the perfect Sunday in all. It's the perfect Sunday, because I think the internet got turned off last night in Sunderland, because with them getting beaten, us winning 8-0, they had nothing to say, so BT were able to turn the internet off and save the Mackham some money. So they saved ourselves a few quid last night. Apparently the book was a thriller, says Sefton. Clarky says, gotta go help the ball, let's build a bed later, guys. Oh, you need a bed, Clarky? Yeah, definitely, mate. Enjoy. The blind lass could have given a penalty, says Lewis. Honestly, I don't know. Coffee says, did you see the Chelsea fans regional weekend? That club's just a mess. Chelsea really is a mess. As I was saying earlier, when you've got that many players into a club that are being bought by your chairman, that's why our club do things properly. And I know sometimes our fans get a bit, oh, we're not getting this player, we're not getting that player. But there's a reason we're not getting that player. Because it might be one, our club aren't interested in him. You know, I know they had a goal disallowed yesterday. To Saucy had a goal disallowed for Chelsea, but it was offside. But yeah, look, they are a mess, that club. They really are. Western Book Hateful Eight. She was reading, Mad Max says she was reading How to Be More Awake in the Woke World. Ronald says Brentford are red and white and all. Yeah, they are. Yeah, absolutely. Are you Sunderland in disguise? Newcastle chanting the stadium. Exactly. And that's what I said on our group chat as well. Is it Sunderland in disguise? Also, Chris Basham talked about this game being bigger than for him as he's a Sunderland fan. Yes, he is, isn't he? Another SMB. Sad Mackham bastard. Sefton says, I'm still laughing at the Mackhams. Absolutely. We've got to laugh at the Mackhams. Always got to laugh at the Mackhams. Come on. It's great, isn't it? You know? I would love to get them in the FA Cup just so we could just slaughter them at St James's Park and just say, there you go. Because I'd love to see how the likes of Bruno would react against Sunderland playing against the Mackhams, a local derby, and Bruno scores. I think he'd really milk it in front of their fans as well. Evening says, Mason, good evening, Mason, hope you're well. It's horrible to think that what the Seagulls must have gone through last night in Sunderland, says Trolls. Lewis says, Chelsea won't get European football again, what a shame. Not this rate they won't. They'll be lucky to stay out the Championship now, in the Champions League. Fair play to Sheffield United. They didn't vandalise their own stadium like Ajax fans. Imagine Ajax fans if they lost 8-0. Jesus, coffee. Do you know what? That was absolutely disgusting yesterday. I mean, after 3-0 up to throw fireworks on the pitch. Absolutely mindless idiots. And all in all, I hope instead of replaying this game, because they might even play it behind closed doors, I think what they should do is award Feyenoord a 3-0 win anyway and give them the points. That's what it should be at the end of the day.
They're actually going to play the remaining time of the game behind closed doors on Wednesday.
That was chant of the day, says mighty win. Yeah, absolutely. To add to the weekend, Gateshead won 3-0 as well. Yes, Gateshead are flying on there. And not only Gateshead won, South Shields won as well. Spennymoor Town won. They're flying high in the National League North. The North East is just on fire at the moment, isn't it? It's absolutely on fire. It's just brilliant. And Gateshead, I think, are fourth in the National League. I would love to see Gateshead get back in the Football League. Lewis says, fun fact as well, B. Sheffield goalkeeper is a Newcastle fan as well. Oh, he is he? Where's Fodringham? I didn't know that. Oh, there we go. Don't think he's a great keeper, by the way. I'm not saying it's his fault for the goals.
Game, though. Even though he conceded 8, he is probably their best player.
But you look at this, right, and you think, hang on, we've won this game 8-0. And then you look at Man City gone there and struggled to win 2-1. It's just strange, isn't it?
Yeah, because I mean, we were saying in the preview that they've made it tough for everyone. That's this season. I mean, they've not been beaten by more than one goal yet this season. Yet they played Spurs, they played Man City, and they've always been in the game. Right, they haven't won any of them. They've always been in the game. So for us to go there and spank them the way we did, I think a few teams will take notice that the Newcastle from last season is back when we had that terrific October.
Yeah.
But if you remember back to last season, we won our first game. Though we didn't lose, it took us a while to get our second win. And then we went on a rampage. It literally was a rampage through the fixtures in October and November. which was the basically the foundations of the Champions League qualifying season. That purple patch we had in October, November was just superb.
Yeah.
I mean, the World Cup came at the wrong time for us.
Lawrence says Bruno is scoring against the Mackhams if he gets the chance to play them because he's already scored against Southampton, Brentford, and Sheffield United. Absolutely. I mean, Callum Wilson said last season he wanted to see Sunderland get promoted back up. I think it was just so Callum could have a score against them. That was why. In some ways, yes, it would have been nice had to beat Luton and come up as well. Just to have a derby again. But you know what it is? Leave them in the Championship, let them rot.
Yeah, I disagree. It wouldn't be great them getting up. Let them rot in the Championship, or even better, let them go back down to League One where they belong.
That Haymer for Sheffield was a shock yesterday. He was half all right at Coventry, says Mad Mag. Yeah, he just didn't look up to it, did he? Tony, that is Welsh. Nosworth had a good evening, Mason. No worries, mate. Lee says seagulls fly backwards around Sunderland so they can't shit all over them. Mighty Win says, I've decided to take the war culture on board as I agree to data last. It was identified as a recycling wheelie bin. Trouble is, I forgot what day to take her out. Berwick got beat, Tony, so it's not all good, lol, says Ian. They're not doing very well, Berwick, are they? Harrogate beaten Salford as well. But when we play like that, we'll beat anyone, says Gary. Do you know what? Yeah, absolutely. I think the Man City game is going to be an interesting game on Wednesday night. It really is. Gary D. Hi, Gary. Hope you're well. He says, back with a vengeance, I would say, lads. Absolutely, Gary. We were clinical. BS says, I don't want him to come up don't want them to come up, but further down better. But I would take a cup game or a pre-season game, though. Yeah, definitely, yeah.
There's one thing I'd be interesting to see, because it's not really a mystery that when Sean Longstaff came back into the team, Bruno started to click. But I would like to see a midfield, either this game against City or against Burnley, of Bruno, Longstaff, and Tonali. I think that could work, because say when they played Bruno and Tonali together, they were almost like taking it in turns at playing number 6, and it didn't really work.
Yeah.
Whereas they wouldn't have that when Longstaff plays. Bruno plays further forward, and I think Tonali would be able to as well, because Sean puts in that work. So that would be an interesting one. I mean, it's going to be interesting when Willock and Joe Linton are fit as well. Who's going to play?
Yeah, it's going to be. John says he would love to see them doing the road plummet as far down the leagues as possible. Lewis says Pep probably wanted to play some of the kids, but I don't think he will now. The Mighty Win says Sunderland come up with an easy 6 points for everyone else, but 2 derbies for us. Absolutely. Look, I miss the derbies. I do. I've had some great derby days.
Derbies. I don't like them unless we win. Then they're great.
Yeah. But look at the shape we've had to endure under the former regime.
Yeah, I know that. But even when we've had decent, even before the former regime, derbies weren't great until you win them. I mean, we had, even under the previous regime, when we got promoted under Chris Heaton, we spanked them at St James's.
On Halloween, I was at that game.
Yeah, but I just don't want... I'd rather they drop down the leagues than have a derby. Derbies are overrated. They're great fun when you win, but if you don't, they're not much fun.
The best one was 2010 when Ryan Taylor scored from a free kick.
Yeah, over the wall.
Or was it 2009? I can't remember now, but 2009 I think it was. And that stupid little kid in the ground in the Sunderland fan. He says, "You'll never score from there." And what happened? Boom, straight in.
But, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do this season.
There
I
was
hope
a
they
Sunderland in
stay
the
down.
quarterfinals of the FA Cup. And we beat them 15-0. That would be some story. Troll says, "Do you know why seagulls fly upside down over Sunderland? Because they don't think they're worth a shite." Gary says, "The only reason I'd like to see them back up is a revenge for the 6 in a row, lads. Absolutely, because I'm sick of hearing them about it.
Oh, the thing about
Amazing view of
six
the
in a
Northern
row.
Lights tonight, but it's all black and white with no clouds on Merseyside. Now that's proper Northern Lights."
And the thing about the 6 in a row, it took them something like 36 tries to actually get the first one.
Yeah. Gary says, "I hate the derbies, just encourages and Mackhams."
Yeah, that's another reason for not wanting.
Two of my favourite goals were the derby against Sunderland, says Mad Mag, when Craig Bellamy and Shearer scored. Yes. Yeah, but Longstaff now plays a 6. I don't know why uh, he does, but it's not a 6, says Mighty Win. And
Yeah,
I'll have
it's
to
not a
go early.
six,
Bye
but
bye,
he does.
Johnny and Roly. Bye, coffee.
By coffee, he's not a six, but
Yeah.
the work that he puts in still allows Bruno to play further forward. And
Johnson,
Anderson
I think
had a really
it's.
good game. Is a more attacking midfielder. As Eddie said, you don't need a six if you've got the running in midfield, which we have with Sean.
Yeah.
Um, you look at
Johnson, I
last
think it's his
season.
engine that makes him.
Yeah,
That makes
you
it
look
for
at last
Longstaff.
season. We didn't have a six,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't suffer from it when Longstaff was playing. So he does the running to let the likes of Bruno, Joe Linton last season play. So it'd be interesting to see him, Tonali, and Bruno in the same midfield. I think basically Tonali hasn't had the benefit of sitting and watching and coming on and being eased into the Premier League that the likes of Bruno has had, and he's that to a certain extent.
Um,
Um, he'll come. I mean, he hasn't played badly, but we'll see the best Tonali in the years to come.
yeah, absolutely. Um, I mean, look, I'll just stick you on mute again because I've got that feedback, Roly. This guy has been making his mouth go again, hasn't he? Good old Brucey boy there, who, you know, oh, we can't call him names because he's a family man, according to the media. Um, but he's been making his mouth go again as Steve Bruce, and you know, again talking more crap again. Coming out with things like he was told by the former owner that there isn't a big pot of money, so you have to make do with what you got. So just get on with it. Um, he said Rafa Benitez played boring football, you know, and was looking to get Newcastle the 12th and 13th. Look, Rafa didn't get the funds what Bruce got, and Rafa had to make do with the squad he got, and Rafa did well for us. And that's the thing. Bruce has upset a lot of fans now because of that, because a lot of Newcastle fans love Rafa, and Bruce has now just upset them even more. I think this guy just needs to shut his mouth and go away, and just go and support your Reds. Go to Old Trafford and go and sit with your mates down there, and your old manager Ferguson, and go and watch them play instead.
I mean,
Stop talking about us because we're not interested.
the way
I mean,
Man
he
United are
referred to
playing,
Eddie
if
Howe
he
as
turned up, he might get a game.
but he even referred to Eddie Howe as that fella, the fella from Bournemouth who got them relegated.
I mean, he needs to stop bumping his gums. I mean, the football under Rafa wasn't great, but Rafa wasn't making excuses. He didn't talk crap in his press conferences, and he actually was always telling Ashley what we needed to do and telling the fans what he wanted to do and what we needed to do. Uh, uh, um, and he's always been and always will be a far superior manager to Bruce. Rafa's actually won stuff. What's
Yeah,
what has Bruce won? He's won the race to the kebab shop.
yeah. John says, Tonali will come right. It's just going to take time. New club, new league. Absolutely.
So
Lee
new
says he
country as
deserves.
well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this guy, yeah, I suppose you could say for the way he's coming out, the way he keeps mumping his gums at the moment. I mean, look, we could give him the award of Cock of the Week.
So,
But as I
that lass
say,
who's on Talk Sport complaining about our first 3 goals should have been disallowed must be in the running.
yeah, but I did see last night, Cock of the Week is Thomas Frank of Brentford.
Yeah, that was last week for this week.
Well, no, because he got the apology this week, didn't he? So
Oh well.
Gary says they're all jealous of us, but that's the bottom line. Absolutely, Gary. Mighty Win says, Roly, I agree with you that Sean frees Bruno, but I still can't see what it is. You can't argue against his influence, but I can't see what it is despite desperately trying to. He's just looking to keep himself relevant, says John over Bruce. Rafa was not a bad manager. Put it this way, he won one of the greatest Champions League finals against AC Milan. Absolutely, the guy's a winner. The guy is a winner. There's an echo on your mic, Tony. Yeah, Gary, it's not me, it's Roly's end, and that's why I have to keep muting Roly because the feedback comes back. Yeah,
I mean, I
Tonali
think
will be
it's
up to
something
speed.
with StreamYard because you said it started when I was at home. I've been using my laptop at home when
Yeah,
it started, so I don't know what it is.
the thing is, if we ignore Bruce and stop talking about that's why he has to see the sooner it'll stop when he's not getting the attention. Yeah, I think that's why he's come back just for the attention. I think Longstaff, Tonali, and Bruno could work, but then where does J7 play? Yeah, I mean, look, it's all ifs and buts at the moment and possibilities, isn't it? And again, it's just something we just have to see what happens. But I mean, look, talking about J7, um, there is rumours at the moment that the club are talking to him to tie him down to a new deal as his current deal runs out in 2025. And again, Liverpool are believed to be sniffing around him. Klopp really wants him there. He thinks he's the ideal player to have in the midfield. It looks like he wants both of our Brazilians, doesn't he? But I think, in all honesty, I don't think Joe Linton would go. I think he'd stay, especially Bruno's still here. Yeah, so I think if we get him tied down to a new contract sooner rather than later, I think we will do, and give him a pay rise he deserves as well because we don't know what he's on pay rise wise, but again, we
He's on
just wait
about
and see.
43,000. I think that's what he
Yeah.
declared to the court when he had his drink driving
Yes.
thing. He declared he's on about 43 grand a week. So
But
I think he's earned himself a pay rise myself.
I definitely think, a new contract is well deserved for Joe Linton and get it done sooner rather than later. I say we don't want to be going till the end of the end of the season. Then he's got like a year left, so let's get it done now. As soon as we can. But that is the rumour, and that's coming from the Shields Gazette, that apparently we're in talks to get him tied down to a new deal, which will be absolutely fantastic. Thoroughly deserves it as well. On the bench, we need cover, says Paul. Yeah, absolutely, Paul. Splat says long start spurt ratio is fantastic. Absolutely splat. Exactly, mate. Roly, it's a delay from Tony talking to you. Talking to when you hear it, says Gary. Yeah, there is a delay there, isn't there? Put out a big buyout clause, says John. Yeah. The side of the strawberries looking brilliant, says Sefton. Nice one. Craig Hope's got a new video out where he corrects all the shit that Jordan and Bruce were spouting. Yeah, exactly. Well, he never liked Craig Hope, did he? Steve Bruce. We need to be careful that we give new contracts. Big Joe's great to tie down. Though. Yeah, absolutely. Ice cream is good for a story, Sefton says Ian. Big Joe's wages need to be doubled, says Splat. Definitely. Definitely new contract for Big Joe. I would say 80 grand a week, says Wayne. Yeah, get him down to a new 5-year deal. I would say definitely. So coming up on the channel this week, anyway, just give you a rundown what's happening this week. It's a busy week actually. Tomorrow we'll do the preview for the Manchester City game, which is on Wednesday. So we'll do a preview for that tomorrow. We'll do the pre-match on Wednesday as normal. And then on Thursday, we'll have a match review from the Man City game from the previous night. So we'll do a review for that as well. Ian got a show Friday because I'm at a wedding on Friday. So I won't be around Friday night. So there'll be no show Friday, but there will be a show Saturday. We'll do a pre-match for the Burnley game. So everything will be back to normal. So it's a busy week this week on the channel. So there are shows basically every night, bar Friday. What time tomorrow? Probably around 8:30. So just keep an eye out for it. If you, Gary, just keep an eye out for it. It should be about 8:30, somewhere around that time. And it should be, and we'll do the preview for that as well. Splat says, look at Mighty Win says, if you look at the stats, Sean's only 5th at the Toon ground for covered per game. What time tomorrow? Is it Roly's and Granny's wedding? Says, yeah, no, absolutely not. It's a family do. We'll do. And Mighty Win, he never stops, so yeah, he doesn't stop running. Roly, do you want to let people know where they can find you?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Pulse67.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Okay, so yes, we are coming at the end of the show, but if you have enjoyed what you've seen, you haven't yet smashed that like, then please do so. That would be absolutely fantastic. Thank you. And if you're brand new to the channel, come and smash the subscribe, be part of the great community. Free to do so. Helps the channel grow, and that bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows. Next year, I'm aiming to hopefully, I'll try and do it next year. I don't know how you do it, you see, and that's the thing. I'll have to speak with Paul about it, but next year, I'm hopefully going to try and get myself put forward, get the channel put forward for the content awards. So hopefully next year, hopefully we can get enough votes to get into, the final reckoning for the channel, which would be absolutely fantastic. Right. Clarky says, good show, guys. Cheers, Clarky. Have a good evening, mate. Sefton says, off Wiedersehen all up the record breaking mags away the lads. Exactly, Sefton, mate. Wayne says, great show, lads, as always. Later, Tony and Roly and all in chat. Cheers, Wayne. Thank you very much indeed, my friend. Good night, everyone. Take care. You too, John. Great show, guys, as always, says Ian. Cheers, Ian. Thanks very much, mate. Have a great evening. Sorry about the caps. No, you're absolutely fine, Splat. No worries, mate. Mad Max says, great show, lads. Good night, everyone. Take care. You too, mate. Fantastic show tonight, Tony and Roly and everyone. Thank you very much indeed, Lee. John says, great show again. Thanks, lads. No worries, mate. See you on the next one. See you soon, says Gary. Absolutely, Tony. Excellent show, guys. Cheers, Splat. Thanks very much, mate. It's not on Twitter anymore. It's X. They have changed it for some unknown reason, lads. Yeah, I still call it Twitter, Gary.
I refuse to call it X.
Yeah. Elon Musk has changed to X, and I don't know why. It's a stupid name.
Well,
Away the
there's a
tunes as
reason
Ronald.
which is I won't go into, but
No.
it's something he's always wanted. So
Great show. I
guys
just know
move
it
on.
has been, says Trolls. Thank you, Trolls. Just remember, the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. And yes, we will be back tomorrow, so do catch us for that as well. It's bye bye from me.
Bye from me.
Away the lads.